Sobers is saying he hears you now.
Now you can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, here we go. 1 second. Action.
Jumped in the river, what did I see? Black-eyed angels swam with me. A moon full of stars and astrocards, and all the figures I used to see. All my lovers were there with me. All my past and future. Oh, we all went to heaven in a little rowboat. There was nothing to fear, nothing to die.
All right, everybody, welcome to CW News. You're watching CW News on the Real Food TV. I'm being joined by Bob.
Hello, hello.
All right, today we're going to be talking about
How the robots are going to kill us all.
Well, I think robots are less the problem than the programming that controls them.
Yes. Gotta lower this. 1 moment. Technical shit. 1 second, please. All right, people, we have returned. CW News. All right. This ain't gonna be a very long episode because we have to be somebody.
We have
to be
a
somewhere.
we have a
Sorry.
social engagement.
We have a social engagement. It's happened before on the show. It's early in the day. This is a very early edition of the show. We'd like to do it earlier in the future, but in order to do that, what? That's weird. We're gonna need support from viewers like you. Say, watch this, people. In 1 second. Where the hell is? Here, say, look, people, look at this. Remember to donate to our Venmo. People, it's in the description of every single one of these videos. All right, look at that. E-begging. Isn't that amazing, Bob?
I don't know if it's e-begging. It's compensation for works performed.
Yeah, that's what these idiots call it. I've seen it before. I saw a guy on U-Cylinder, and he was all like, hey, you're e-begging. It's like, I mean, that's easy, I guess. That's easy for him to say, but not easy for him to say because he was e-begging himself. He had like this thing on the bottom of this video that was saying, donate to my Cash App.
Yeah. A lot of people like to think that, do
What?
as I say, not as I do. They're going to judge everybody else for something, but overlook the fact that they participate in whatever it is themselves.
Right. I got to check and see that Bob's voice isn't just a whisper. What were you saying, Bob?
I was saying that a lot of people operate on the premise of do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly. They do. They do it all the time. I do it all the time too. I'm kidding. All right. So we're going to be getting into our topic, people, but this is the first part of a much longer series. Okay? Because it's coming. It's coming. This is the AI takeover. I forgot to put this other story from the other day, Bob, that I saw where Trump is, I think, going to announce another like $90 billion invested into AI. What people don't understand is when they bring in all this AI, the purpose of it is to remove organic intelligence, right? That's the purpose of artificial intelligence. Because Bob, what's wrong with organic intelligence? Why do we need all this artificial intelligence?
Well, organic intelligence is often attached to human beings that require pay and sleep and food, time off, insurance, whereas a computer requires none of those things, just like the physical representation of that dichotomy is robot versus, or machine versus man, right?
Yes, man versus machine is usually how they say it.
A machine can go, like, take a car, for example. A car can transport you hundreds of miles without stopping, without needing replenishment, without taking injury, generally, right? In order for a human being or even a horse to take you that distance would take much longer, days potentially. Okay. So it's an economy of scale. And the problem is that, or one of the problems, there are many, but one of the issues is that we as a society, at the prompting of the commercial interests, which are in large part in charge of our society at this point, have supplanted quality for quantity. People want stuff. They want stuff right now. They want stuff at a very cost-effective price. And so that leaves no room for human beings to create, ship, and sell the stuff, which is where we now find ourselves, where there's a handful of big box stores who have crowded essentially everybody else out of whatever market they're in. They're mass producing garbage that is intended to be disposable, and they're selling it at a premium because they can.
All right, that's the new chat system I brought into the show, people. That is that's the Bob phone. It's now.
Hey, Thunderdome.
What's up, Thunderdome? I don't see my chat is not updated, people. Just give me 1 second so I can update this.
Yeah, chat has been buggy. Sometimes I have to like exit the video and then enter the video again to see what's going on. But essentially, one of the reasons, or one of the things that prompted this conversation was how Grok 4 Heavy is performing on something called Humanity's Last Exam, which is a metric for comparing organic human intelligence to artificial intelligence. And the way that Grok 4 Heavy is performing is startling. So Humanity's Last Exam is an all subjects test. Mm-hmm. It's like the SAT from hell, basically, yes. But it's PhD level knowledge across multiple subject areas. And it doesn't just require rote memorization. It requires an ability to synthesize large amounts of information and then iterate it in a unique way. So the average human being, even a PhD level human being, a subject matter expert, on balance would perform at about 5% on the HLE, which is what it's called colloquially. Grok 4 Heavy is, I think, Grok 4 by itself without any of its additional tools is performing at like 35 or 40%, and when it's given its plugins, basically, it's performing in the 60 percentile, which means that Grok 4 has surpassed narrow knowledge and entered into general knowledge, not just in an iterative sense, in that it can regurgitate as though it had rote memorization. It can accumulate large quantities of information and then synthesize them into a unique response. Using a large language model, it is able to synthesize them into a unique response that reflects human speech. which is bad.
Yeah, that is pretty damn bad. All right, I'm looking up some information about the Matrix. Do you remember which year the AI takes over, Bob, in the Matrix?
I don't remember.
Because you know that film was about artificial intelligence, right?
Yeah.
That's how it all began. And that's why the Earth was destroyed. It was very similar to the Terminator. They scorched the Earth because the AI went out of control. So they dropped bombs. That's why you noticed the planet was destroyed, but the people were still in those machines. I mean, it is filled with a bunch of metaphors, but, you know, the story is that, you know, the AI took over. But I forgot. It was really interesting because the year was like, I think it was like 2020 or something it was supposed to be. Wait, let me see. The Matrix. All right, so here's an article here from the Los Angeles Times. All right, I'm not going to look at that right now because that doesn't have the information. It's just going on a whole breakdown of the film. All right? 1 second. My God. Sorry, people. A little mixed up here. All right, Bob, you want to read this headline here?
Why AI regulation has become a states' rights issue.
Yes. All right, I was looking at this the other day. I thought it was really interesting because within that new bill, the big, beautiful bill, Mr. Trumpy is trying to restrict states' rights when it comes to the regulation of artificial intelligence. This is why I've been saying this guy is an absolute fraud. Total fraud. When you really read into it, the guy is an absolute piece of shit. He's a corporate owned guy. That's what he is.
I think at this moment, though, it's important to state that the saying that he is compromised does not mean that Kamala would have not been compromised.
We're not
they
saying
are both
that.
compromised.
They're the same. They're two sides of the same coin.
It's not that in saying this, there is any sort of regret or, I was wrong. They're both fake. both parties are essentially the same party at this point.
Yes.
And while
I mean, that's true.
there may be smaller, up and coming pundits, candidates, whatever, the grassroots coalition certainly is very distinct. When it comes to the people actually empowered to make policy, they are the same. There is almost no difference.
There's no difference. Not almost. There is no difference. All right. I mean, well, when it comes to the right wing, we've been saying it forever. The right wing's got to be in the crosshairs because they're the party that's going to really stand up against this. But it wouldn't shock me if the left wing were big into it because a lot of these tech guys are getting fired. And we're going to be going into that in a little while. A lot of people in the technology industry who were fired. From Microsoft alone, I think in the last month, over 9,000 people fired. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of speculation that has everything to do with artificial intelligence taking their jobs. They're now downsizing. And I mean, you notice all these guys that are all into the AI. And like I said, Mr. Trumpy came in right away. He's like, they're saying it's going to be amazing. We're going to bring jobs back in. Yet the guy who's telling you there's going to be more jobs is taking away your jobs with artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Okay? All right, Bob, here's a little bit of info here about the robots. Want to read that?
The number of robots in Amazon's warehouses has increased fivefold since 2020 when the company operated around 200,000 units. Mechanical arms, wheeled transporters now operate alongside human staff, with robots assisting and handling 75% of global deliveries. Amazon's workforce in shipping warehouses has remained largely flat, while robot numbers have continued rising.
So there you go. But what I found really interesting is this was a much larger article, obviously. This is just a little piece from it. They talked about how this started going to overdrive in 2020.
Yep. Right
around the time of the Merman 19. That's when they started kicking this in, right? Oh, let me guess. You're trying to remove those non-essentials? Is that what that is?
Yep.
What do you think of that, Bob?
Yeah, I think it's been part of a broader strategy, right? It was never about a virus. It was never about keeping people safe, protecting grandma, whatever narrative your particular pundit was pushing. It was always about the transition of wealth and the transfer of power. And that has only accelerated from that point.
You know what I need to do? I need to stop
I don't know.
this
What do you need to
trash Facebook shit from sending me notifications. Sorry, people, for saying that, but
you could mute your cell phone.
It's still popping up notifications on my cell phone. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I really hate these phones where they think they
Hey,
can just
Mars.
send... What's up, Mars? that these companies could just send you whatever notifications they want. All right, Bob, you want to read this little bit here from this beautiful bill?
Trump's big, beautiful bill contains a provision that would severely discourage individual states from regulating AI for 10 years. Prominent Republicans, most notably Texas Senator Ted Cruz, have led the charge, arguing that a patchwork of shoddy state legislation would stunt the AI industry and burden small entrepreneurs. No small entrepreneurs are using AI at scale. That is a ridiculous premise.
But these are our supposed conservatives, right?
Do you know how expensive it is to access, just because it's top of mind, do you know what a membership to Grok 4 Heavy costs?
What?
It's over $300 a month.
Yes.
What small business, what small scale mom and pop shop is shelling out $300 a month for AI?
But you see how they're bullshitting us,
Like,
right?
it's so silly.
They're trying to act like, oh my God, the small businesses will be hurt by this. No, they won't.
Grandpa Munster needs to go take a nap.
No, what they're doing is they're allowing these big corporate interests to come in here and fucking fire everybody and bring in this AI and lower their workforce. And they're going to be able to just monopolize like everything, right? They don't have to pay a workforce anymore. You're going to have yourself a lot of unemployed people. You already do. But don't you think it's funny you got Ted Cruz over here? He's like, oh my God, if you limit artificial intelligence, small business will be hurt.
I think that where individuals like Ted Cruz and the political class go wrong is they think that if they perform, if they shuck and jive correctly, that their obeisance will protect them. It won't, because they won't be necessary anymore. So Ted Cruz will have to answer to the crowd of people that the Jeff Bezos, the Mark Zuckerberg, the Bill Gates, and so on will all be protected from in their bunkers. There is nobody that's going to protect Ted Cruz.
All right, Bob, want to read this right here, this part?
It's a terrible provision, Hawley tells Time. When asked if he had been talking to other Republicans about trying to stop it, Hawley nodded and said, there's a lot of people who have a lot of big concerns about it. To strip the provision, Markey would need 51 votes. 4 Republicans, in addition to every single Democrat, and it's unclear if he'll get the necessary support from both camps. For example, Ron Johnson, a Wisconsin Republican, has criticized the provision, but told Time on Tuesday that he didn't think it should be struck from the bill.
But you see how sick it is, right? They're saying they need every single Democrat. You know for a fact that this thing they're pushing here is completely in alignment with the left party, right? This is like a government overreach and everything's mixed into this. There's going to be so many things that are going to come of this that's going to restrict many of your rights. I mean, look, if you're fucking jobless and basically these corporations just coming through eating everything up, you're done, right? You don't really have rights. Yep. You what is it? You will own nothing and be happy? Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, hey Quags, it's you will own nothing and be happy, but part and parcel of that, your happiness is predicated on your complicity in being owned, right?
Yes.
This is feudalism on steroids.
All right, so
that's not true.
So
this is feudalism in a much more efficient fashion.
Yes. Nothing new about this, right? But
not really.
It's a lot more efficient.
It's very efficient, and as of right now, it seems impossible to step outside of it, but that's not true entirely. There are ways and means. This is right now a battle of perception, wherein the interests are trying to create this perception of inevitability, of omniscience, of inescapability, and many people are buying into that. And so they are in essence manifesting that exaggeration into reality.
All right, give me 1 second.
And that's why it's important to always educate yourself, not simply by consuming the news media, not by consuming pundits, but by looking up the research yourself, engaging with the content, and forming your own opinion.
Yes. What do you think?
That's really essential.
What do you think are the downsides and the upsides of this whole thing of unrestricted AI?
Well, the upside is clear, right? If we're speaking totally objectively, and I'm not thinking about the implications for humanity writ large, right? And I'm just thinking about what is the benefit. An unrestricted growth means that for 10 years, the best and the brightest will be courted to facilitate this technology reaching and exceeding its apex over and over and over again. So it is like taking the dream team and giving them nothing to do but try to outdo themselves. They're in competition with themselves at this point.
I don't think it's just that. I think the fact that if you come in and you have unrestricted AI, then if they come in within the next 5 years and they build all these amazing algorithms and all these different kind of softwares that could take your job away, then there's nothing to restrict these from existing.
Right, you asked the positive and the negative, right?
Yes,
so
okay.
I was giving you the positive.
All right, let's get the negative now.
So the negative would be aligned with what you were saying, that because it is essentially expansion and experimentation for the sake of itself, there is no consideration for the downstream effects of this exponential growth.
What do you think this would actually do to small business, Bob? Do you think this would allow much bigger businesses to take many markets?
It has the potential to broadly either force small businesses into conglomeration with these larger businesses or to go extinct.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think that right off the bat they would be like, we're taking your entire business and you must die. Yeah. But I do think that, not dissimilar to what, for example, Chobani did in upstate New York, what Chobani did was they went around to all of the dairies and said, look, you can be a dairy supplier for us and we guarantee you business, but you cannot be a dairy supplier for anyone else. Which means that all other dairy companies in the area that made products with dairy, right? Cheese producers, yogurt, milk, whatever, ice cream.
Yes.
They died because they no longer had access to local dairy.
Yeah.
They would have needed to ship in the dairy, which cuts into their profits and so on and so forth. So I could see a situation like that emerging where in order to survive, you have to bring your business into the Amazon marketplace. I mean, that's already kind of true.
I mean, there's so many things this is going to bring in. Unrestricted AI. All right, we're going to talk about...
Well, there's an interesting kind of foil to that.
Yes.
In Denmark, a bill was passed that gave citizens the trademark, or the copyright rather, to their appearance, their likeness, and their voice. So that is the government's attempt to do an end run around AI, in that it makes it a crime to use, without the explicit authorization of that individual, their likeness, their voice in any AI products. So that makes it, if somebody is if their likeness is used in a deep fake or AI porn or any of these other things, they can sue.
Yes.
And I think that's really good. I think that that's something that should be global.
Yes, but
it's just it's a drop in the bucket.
Well, I mean, look, if you go by, what would you say, porno stars? Is that what you said?
Well, I said that it prevents AI from scraping their likeness for anything.
What Trump is doing here is it would allow any company that has this AI to just come in and basically remove just a vast amount of human labor. I mean, we're talking about the music industry, the film industry, the writing industry, even the porn industry, because guess what? They can create, using artificial intelligence, fake people. And they can, I mean, it's a lot cheaper, I'm pretty sure, for these smut peddlers to get fake AI people than it is to pay these, actors, I guess, right?
Yep.
It's a lot cheaper.
And you already see it.
And with what Trump is doing, it's going to allow them to eliminate many, many, many jobs. But that's what Trump is, people. Just so you know, most people don't know this. He's a fucking fraud. It's what he's always been. He's a corporate fraud, okay? He's pushing their Build Back Better. Their you will own nothing and be happy. He's Klaus Schwab's little bitch. Okay? All right, Bob.
Amazon robots poised to outnumber human workers as warehouse automation accelerates.
So there you go. The robots in the Amazon facilities are about to outnumber the people in the facilities. All right? And in the future, because I'm pretty sure you know this, the robots are powered by artificial intelligence. So if there's no restrictions on them, on our AI, not even at the state level. This is what Trumpy's doing, little Trumpy. He's making it where they won't even allow them to have any control over this to the state level. It's like, basically, it's through the entire country. Right, Bob?
Yeah, it would be at a federal level.
It's at a federal level.
It would be protected at a federal level. And then that would empower the AI developers, right? Because they're all owned by large corporations. It's not like this is Ubuntu or Linux and it's a small team of ragtag open source coders, right? For the most part, the clients that they're talking about are commercial interests. It would allow Jeff Bezos to go against a small cake shop in Des Moines, Iowa, right? It would allow multi-billion-dollar multinational corporations to take legal action against small businesses and even mid-sized businesses. Because if those businesses are perceived to be limiting or infringing AI development, infrastructure, and implementation, then they would potentially be in violation of a federally protected entity. I would be interested to see how that was actually played out in the courts, because I think it's going to be really, really difficult to prove. But the goal with a lot of these lawsuits isn't to win. It's to bog the other person down in so much debt and paperwork and nonsense that they are unable to continue in business because all of their time, effort, and finances have gone into a case to nowhere. And large corporations can afford to do that. Ad infinitum.
All right, so here we go. This is probably going to be pushed a lot during this presidency and the many to come, right, Bob? So more managers are relying on AI to make staffing decisions, study finds. What do you think about that? I think things like affirmative action or certain systems in order to not hire certain people, right? Now it's not even a person hiring you, it's an artificial intelligence.
Yeah, there's different bots that are used to scrape resumes.
Yes.
And I mean, as quickly as these bots are developed, there is counter code. So one of the easiest and most basic ways to kind of defeat this is to insert code commands in white on your resume. The interviewer or the HR person won't see it, but the program that is scraping your resume will. So that was a really kind of funny one that people were doing for a little while. But it is worrying that rather than a human being that has expert knowledge of the role investigating different applicants and selecting from the best among them, it is a computer program that is utilizing criteria that are static and therefore by default less accurate.
All right, that's not the right article there, Kesha. We're not talking about Kesha right now. All right, so
a lot of weird stuff going on when it comes to artificial intelligence, right? People, again, we've been saying this for a while.
That is the road, basically the road to your enslaved, you being enslaved is this artificial intelligence.
It's the way how they take most of the jobs away, right? Oh, you don't need farmland anymore, right? Right, Bob? You don't need to do it. The government will manage it with robots, right? It'll all be managed by robots.
I mean, the question that I would ask to the chat, have you seen AI incursion into your respective industries? I know it's in mine. I see it all the time. It's disheartening in the extreme for sure. And I know that it's in many industries. I don't know what you all do for work, but I would be curious, like, are you starting to see this in real life? Quags is saying that you have an echo, Fu.
Of course I do. I said this earlier that there would be an echo. There always is.
Fu said it to me earlier. It's because he and
It's
I are in the
'cause
same room.
my mic is going off of her mic. She's speaking a little lower. She has a shield in front of her and all kinds of stuff. I don't, because I'm looking at a screen.
But thank you for letting us know, Quags.
It's just the way it's gonna be. I've tried to fix it. Maybe I'll see if I can use the noise canceling. All right, I'll do this. This is what I'll do. 1 second, please. Where the hell is this? This is what I hate. I have to create a mute button. This is the thing I should have done before this stream. But we're going to be getting out of here soon. All right? But we're going to continue with this later, and I won't have an echo at that point. All right? Do I have an echo now? I probably shouldn't. All right, so, people. The robots are coming to get you. Ah! All right, Bob. Go on.
With what?
All right, we're going to bring up some more of the stuff we got here. All right. We got Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, people. Remember that guy? Remember that guy there, Bob?
I have heard of him.
Okay, well, Mr. Epstein, people.
Did AI kill him?
Is dead. Yeah, he's been dead for a little while, supposedly. I mean, for all we know.
I don't think he's dead.
For all we know, he might not even be a real person.
I think he's a real person, but I don't think he's dead. Jeffrey Epstein had no client list, died by suicide, DOJ and FBI. So when are they going to let Ghislaine Maxwell out?
Well, this is a new stupid, shitty thing they're pushing. Yeah, that's just crazy because I'll tell you this. I was working to get rid of this echo, and the fact that it's still in there really annoys me. Yeah, it's the fact that we're in the same room.
Quags is saying that you sound better now.
I don't know why I would sound better. I haven't changed anything, really.
How dare you sound better? I don't know.
Okay. I didn't change much.
In totally unrelated but kind of adorable news, I have a baby spider running up and down my microphone holder thing, and it's very cute. It's a little sling that looks like it just molted.
Wow, Bob. Wow,
it's a cute little guy. It's just a little guy.
Just molted, huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's just galloping back and forth with like reckless abandon. It's very cute.
Yeah, it is. All right. So what I think of this Jeffrey Epstein shit is that they got everybody all hopped up on this child sex stuff or whatever the fuck this is. And I think eventually in the future, what they're going to do is they're going to use this as a way to maybe microchip your kids, right? That's probably it. I mean, the mainstream media trying to expose, people like a sex ring over here. Is that really what they're doing, Bob? Because they've been talking about this for what? Over a year? 2 years?
Oh, they've been talking about it longer than that.
They'll probably in the future, they'll probably make it illegal to not chip your children. And you know what happens, people, when you chip your children? You know what happens to children? They become adults. Remember? That's how they get them in you. That's how they get the chips in you. They come in there and they say, and people will say this is crazy, but a few years ago, that guy, what's that guy's name?
Netanyahu.
Yoo-hoo? I'm going to say Yoo-hoo. Let's call him Yoo-hoo.
That's a grievous insult to that fine chocolate beverage.
Well, Yoo-hoo over there, during the Corona scam, sorry, I shouldn't have said Corona. I should have said Merman 19. Merman 19. During that, he actually, he was saying that they should put some chips in kids, right? Chips, actually a technology that when you get next to each other, you beep. So he says the children, they will beep when people get close, right? What was funny is that some guy came out and he said, some tech guy, he was like, oh, we can't do that because maybe pedophiles will be able to find the children. It's like, yeah, that would be terrible too, but what would also be terrible is that the government could find you.
Like right? IRL Pokemon Go.
Yes, and exactly, the pedos, yeah, the government. Is that what you mean? The
Pedomon Go.
They never brought up the government.
That's dark.
What?
I was saying IRL Pedoman Go. That's
found, and now they put it on the right wing, right? Oh, look, Trump is hiding this bullshit. For all we know, it's absolutely 100% fake. It might actually be completely fake.
What might be completely
fake? This
fake?
Epstein thing, 100% fake. Created by the media. Not to say that this isn't a thing that could happen or has happened. There's been sex rings going back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. They say that the sex trade is one of the oldest industries in existence. Right, Bob?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the
I
oldest.
just don't know that I don't think that the effort to create a front would have been worth it when there's definitely scumbags who are actively doing the thing and it's much easier to just blackmail them. Like just from a level of effort required, right? When you're manufacturing something, you have to have the complicity of everybody involved in the manufacture of it. And that creates a tremendous liability. So unless everybody created it and then got Clintoned, right? Which I don't think happened. I think that it's entirely plausible that Epstein was a legitimate scumbag and he did legitimately connect with other scumbags to do scumbaggy shit.
I think it's part of the demoralization process. These people thought that look at it, it's the Great Awakening. Oh, everyone's going to jail now. And then out of nowhere, by the way, P. Diddy's getting out of jail. Boom. By the way, Jeffrey Epstein did not kill him. No one killed him. He killed himself. And there's no list. Boom.
He killed himself for no reason.
Just like that. It's that quick that they pull it from you. They threw you a cookie and then they took it back. And that cookie might have actually been 100% fake because once again, people might think it's crazy. But for all we know, Mr. Epstein there is 1,000,000% fake. AI generated human being. People won't believe that, but this guy came up out of nowhere. When did you ever hear of Jeffrey Epstein ever in your life? This guy he just existed out of nowhere, right? Did you not notice that, Bob? Like he just existed out of nowhere.
I mean, he didn't. He funded part of a library at Harvard. He had offices at Harvard.
I understand, but in the media, you would have thought if a guy was
right,
this big,
but like
he'd be
in
everywhere.
the media has the attention span of a gnat on speed. But in the record of existence in life, he was around for a long time.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. He was around. But why would the mainstream media for a second start bringing this guy up, exposing him, and then also in the public eye, building the narrative of that he was murdered by some higher ups in order for a cover up? Why do we know about this? That the media is also, they're saying this, even though the media for the most part is completely corrupt. Why would they be alluding to, this Epstein guy, and they're just going to expose him, even though they're owned and controlled by the same people that might actually be doing this stuff?
Well, I mean, I think the mainstream media isn't exposing it. I think
Did they say Ted Turner was one of the people that went to Epstein Island, Bob?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they said Ted Turner. Ted Turner owns CNN. Okay. So why would CNN be talking about Jeffrey Epstein when this guy Ted Turner is
As I was saying, I think that they're not exposing it. I think they're responding to the very, very large, very loud group of maybe independent investigators who have been talking about it for years, because trust in the media, trust in the legacy media is at an all-time low. So they are now having to pay attention to what channels on YouTube and Rumble and all those other platforms are saying. And those are the people who have been talking about this for a long time. It was not a CNN story.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, it was. It started all on CNN. All this stuff started on CNN. And the simple fact that sites like YouTube allow these guys to say this stuff just shows how fake it is. It's just completely, it's on purpose, all of it. There's no...
So what is the goal?
Well, the goal is probably, it might be what I said. The goal is to put some chips in people. Because if you start pushing the narrative and start saying pedo, abduction, and you start telling people this stuff with the Epsteins and people disappearing and all that, then at some point they'll say, well, it's illegal for you not to put a chip in your kids. Doesn't that seem like a good narrative going forward in order to get people to do this shit?
I mean, not really, because an RFID chip doesn't track.
Well, I don't know what technology they have. I'm pretty sure they have more sophisticated stuff.
I mean, if you're talking about like a tracker, like a GPS tag on a child, like people already do that. They AirPod their kids all the time.
It's about what they become, which is adults.
Right, I understand that, but that concept already exists. People put AirPods on their kids, in their kids' shoes, backpacks, whatever. So that is a geotagger on a child.
But that's an option. That's optional.
Yeah.
That's not a law that says you must do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All I'm saying is that I don't think there was ever anything to this that was anything real. It was always pushed by the big machine. This Epstein shit was not the underground. It was coming straight from the mainstream media, which is come 100% in cahoots. They're another branch of the government. That's what they are. Mainstream media is a branch. They're the government basically, right? Without the mainstream media, we wouldn't have the government dictating all this stuff during the Merman, 19. What do you think of that?
What do I think about what?
What I just said.
That the mainstream media is a branch of the government?
I said more than that, Bob. What do you think? Back in 2020, Bob, the media, the government came out and they dictated a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And the media was out there pushing fear, fear, fear. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're evil if you don't do this, you don't do that. Did that not give the government more power?
Of course it did.
So there you go. They're another branch of this government. Now Trump comes out there and he says things like, they're against me. They're against me. They don't want to listen to me. When in reality, they are him, right? Well, he's just another branch of the government as well, right? They say he's president, but I don't believe. I think he's an absolute fraud. He's just a corporate puppet. That's what he is. He's just the same as the media, Bob. Just the same. They come from the same school of propaganda. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, I think that Trump is controlled for sure.
Yeah.
And that they are working together to accomplish a broader goal that has nothing to do with nationality.
Yes. I mean, they're dividing the people like crazy right now. Is this still working? Because I see this has been buffering for like 20 minutes right now, Bob. The chat.
It looks fine.
All right. Because I'm looking at my phone right now.
I've had to close it and come back in a couple of times, but it's
sorry, people.
fine.
Sorry, Bob. We're a little bit all over the place because I was trying to get my mic to not have echo in it, which is very irritating. Kind of throws me off when this stuff is glitching out. All right, so we've gone through the Amazon thing about AI. I should have probably put more into this, but again, this is going to be an ongoing discussion, and we might be opening up the expert panel. We will be doing an episode of expert panel on this, maybe more than one. Bob's going to be in on that one. We're going to have a larger discussion about this because we're going to have to get out of here soon. The name of the video is a Big Beautiful AI. This is part 1, right? Just said again.
Well, the name of the video is AI Going to Replace You.
Yes.
Part 1.
All right. So it was supposed to be Big Beautiful AI. I wrote that in there real quick. But yeah, so we'll have that title. All right. All right. So we got a little story here, Bob, about the teachers union. And then we're going to have to get out of here because we have somewhere to be. Sorry, people. All right, Bob.
Teachers Union partners with tech companies to launch AI training academy.
All right. So what do you think about that? An AI training
I would
academy?
need to know what it is.
Right. It's training people on artificial intelligence.
Like, is it teaching people to code?
We're going to look at this right here. 1 second, people. I'm trying to get this audio to go. It's always an advertisement, right?
Recognize the Matrix is saying that you're an AI.
Oh, my God.
Have you been found out, Fu?
I am an AI. Hello.
Tools say the
He
tech
is
actually
way too
saves them
OCD to be
time.
AI.
There's
Okay,
new
that
polling
would
from
have been
Gallup and the Walton
patched
Family Foundation,
in
and it
like
found
beta
that
testing.
K through 12 public school educators.
All right, so we're going to listen to how your kids are going to be taken over by artificial intelligence.
Ever heard of teachers who like
Ever heard of a gay man?
AI in the classroom? Well, some public school teachers who regularly use.
Hey, wait, Bob, is there a law where you can't hire an actual black person on television? They got to be like a mulatto with green eyes, right? And a tan and gay.
That's a focus group. Fu.
Okay, well, there's a law. There's a law.
Artificial intelligence tools say the tech actually saves them time. There's new polling from Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation, and it found that K through 12 public school educators are using
Walton
AI
family?
and saving an
Yes,
average of
the family that owns
6
Walmart.
hours per week. This adds up, if you can do the math, to about 6 weeks of time saved during a typical school year. Romy Drucker is here. She's the director of the education program at the Walton Family Foundation. Maybe she does math better than I do, and joins us with more on this really interesting polling. Good morning to you, Romy. You're calling this an AI dividend. So what tasks is AI completing for teachers that takes them too much time?
So what we found in the polling, Errol, is that 6 out of 10 teachers are using AI. And as you noted, AI is saving those teachers up to 6 hours a week or 6 weeks a year. What they're using it for is to lighten the load on administrative tasks, lesson planning, worksheets, adapting materials. These are highly laborious tasks for teachers, and time is being saved that they can reinvest in student learning and relationships.
So this technology is helping teachers. You said there 6 out of 10 teachers report getting some kind of benefit out of it. But, there's this recent study from MIT, and it found that AI shortcuts are actually making students a bit more mentally lazy. What do you make of
Shocker. Isn't that shocker, Bob?
Not really, no.
I know it's not. At least he brought it up, right? She's probably going to say, that's a total lie. It's disgusting.
No, she's going to say she's going to reframe it and say, well, it's about how you use the AI.
Yeah.
I bet you that's what she's going to do. I've never seen this. But
I mean, there's a lot worse.
I bet you she would reframe it and find a way to make it it's a use case issue.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot worse than a calculator, right? Because to me, the first AI tool we ever had was a calculator, right? And now this is thinking for you in every way. It's like, AI, what should I eat today? How fat are you? Well, and basically it'll answer all these questions, right? You're like, hey, AI, what's this? What's that? It's going to do all your thinking. So obviously it's going to make you fucking retarded.
Recognize, yeah, I remember, I know that you asked Fu, but I do know that there was a show that had a family called the Waltons from the 70s. Do you know what that show was called?
The Waltons?
Yeah.
No.
And they would say like, good night, John, or good night, so-and-so, and they would like call back and forth, and that was like the signature ending of the show.
I don't remember.
I have to look that up now, but no, I know what you're talking about. Recognize. It was almost 2 decades before I existed in the world, but I have heard of it.
All right, we're gonna finish watching this. We're gonna hear this lady's answer. Then I'm gonna have to get out of here.
and how it plays into this debate on if AI is
this loud
good
enough?
or
Yes.
negative thing when it comes to education?
I think that MIT study is an important caution, but what teachers are saying in our data is that they don't want to endorse laziness, they want leverage. They are trying to enhance the classroom experience. So we need to listen to them, we need to support them. They're asking for guidance. They're saying, please help us use this technology well. It's new. Give us exposure, let us experiment. So I think as we think about the work that we do for districts and schools and in states across the country, that needs to be the focus.
And because
All right, so this is a lady that's part of the AI company, right?
Well, she works for the Walton Foundation.
Yes, which is pushing AI.
Yes.
Yes. So what would we expect? Oh, yes, it's true. It is dumbing people down. Isn't that funny? No, she's not going to agree with that, right?
But she did exactly what I said. She was like, oh, it's a use case issue and teachers need to be able to explore and experiment. And, maybe it could be bad, but maybe it's not bad. And it's just, she used a lot of words to say absolutely nothing.
Yeah. She used many words to cover up the fact that AI is just dumbing people down. That's exactly what it's doing. They just don't give a shit, right? Maybe that's the objective, is to dumb people down. But we got something else that's funny here. That it doesn't have to do with AI, but it has to do with sellouts. Okay, here it is. Remember Bob, Fight the Power? Remember the group Public Enemy?
Not personally, no, but I know they exist.
Yeah. Fight the power. Fight for the power. Fight the power. No, fight for the power, right? Just like Rage Against the Machine. These guys were never real. Let's listen to Mr. Flavor Flav from Public Enemy.
Shooting this week in Chicago, sparking yet another nationwide conversation on gun violence. 4 people were killed and 14 others injured when shots rang out at a restaurant near where rapper Mellow Buzz was hosting a mixtape release party. It happened in the city's busy River North neighborhood. The incident striking a chord with rapper Flavor Flav. He's known around the world for his work
Look at this clown.
with legendary group Public Enemy and as a reality TV star, but he also once served time in jail because of a gun crime. His own experience leading to this op-ed in Newsweek calling for the United States to completely ban firearms, writing in part, quote,
Fight the power. Fight for the power. Fight for the power. Fight for the power that be.
our schools aren't safe and our kids aren't safe. Also releasing a new song protesting guns.
And you see people how they always bring up the kids as a way to like basically guilt you into doing what their handlers want you to do. This is why I always find it funny when you see all these dumb assholes going to these idiots' concerts and pumping their fists in the air. These guys were always frauds. They always were frauds from day one. Remember, Bob? They would have the videos wearing all black, You got the Black Panthers and do all their stupid shit. This is what it was always about. And they always use the children as a little smokescreen for what they really want. And that's to make you less safe. That's really what it is. These guys are over here talking about, they made a song about disarming you.
On protesting gun violence.
But I thought it was about fight the power. What are we going to fight him with? Fight the power that beat.
Releasing a new song protesting gun violence called March Madness. Here's a little bit of that.
Oh, here's a little bit of it. They should change the name of their group to from Public Enemy to Government Owned. Right, Bob? What do you think? Government Tool. March Madness. Fight the power that be. You see that stupid shit they have there? It's like a bullseye on a cop. But how are you supposed to? What's a bullseye? We're gonna throw what? An orange? I'm not saying it's violence. It's not the right thing, right?
It's not always a wrong thing.
But they're talking about banning all guns. Like, bro, you got a crosshair pointed at a cop on your poster there.
On a teddy bear.
On a teddy bear.
Being held by a child.
Yeah.
So is this song about indoctrinating children to take violent action against police?
No, it's
because that seems to be a bad idea.
It's a song telling the public to disarm themselves because the government.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Wait, but I thought the government was corrupt. Corrupt and racist and all that. You want to disarm yourself against a corrupt, racist government?
I like my guns.
What? What's going on, Public Enemy?
I mean, they're being true to name. Enemy of the public. Correct.
All right, let's listen to a little of their trash.
Ask a question. Does a gun need to be in a school?
Does a gun need to be in a school?
Earlier, our Morgan Norwood spoke with Flavor Flav about his push for gun control. Here's a little of that conversation.
You imagine we were disarmed because of Flavor Flav? You imagine that?
I would have to exit the planet. I would have to leave the census. That would be too much.
Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. So let's
Thank
start
you
with
much
a
for
simple
being here, retard.
question. Why now?
Why now? Why not now? Now is the time.
What a
Definitely.
fraud. What a fraud. He's trying to help out his little buddies. I mean, look, if there's an Epstein Island, this guy's been on it.
You know what I'm saying? For, this gun control thing.
The Jello pudding pop. That's what he looks like, right? He looks like fucking Bill Cosby.
He does
I think
a bit.
maybe it was him that did that stuff to the ladies, Bob. They confused it with Bill Cosby. It was actually this guy the whole time.
Dude.
Flavor Flav. What the F?
My Lyric needs new tires.
Okay, I have over 100 results.
You have
There
enough
you go,
to handle
AI
without
commercial.
becoming a
What
tire
the
expert.
fuck?
Cadillac certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires
Sorry,
specifically
people.
developed
This shit
for
is
it.
making
Let
us
us do the
watch
work.
this.
What I'm saying, to be under control, because right now gun control is out of control. Guns are falling into the wrong hands of the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? And the whole nine. And not only that, but I'm not saying
Who the fuck is buying this shit? You imagine people watch this and actually paying attention to his dumbass words? Oh my God, dude, I was thinking about keeping my guns, but now since Flavor Flav said I shouldn't have guns, then I won't have any.
I'm not saying to totally ban guns.
Just mostly.
I mean, come on, policemen, they need guns to do their jobs. Guns has been around since the Civil War.
I like how
Oh my God.
I like how he ends it right there, right? Policemen, they need the guns to do their jobs. And then what about the people? People outside of the police.
You know what I'm saying? In the whole nine. But my thing is this. You know what I'm saying? All of these school shootings that's going on right now. Look at these massive shootings that happened this week or already in the United States. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get. Wait, he's got books?
In Chicago, 18 people getting shot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a disgrace to the race. You know what I'm saying? For real. And I mean,
Maybe
all
he
of
only
this-
thinks black people shouldn't have guns.
Oh, is that what he means?
He just said it's a disgrace to the race.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't.
I
That's
guess,
from his
I
own
guess.
mouth, bro. I don't know.
It's a disgrace to the race.
come to a stop. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be under control right now.
Well, Flav, you speak so openly about your story and then also spending time in jail because of gun crime. How has your own experience shaped your stance on gun violence?
Well, my
Wait,
experience...
was that supposed to be a tear? Imagine that's supposed to be a tear. He's wiping a tear. We got to stop this and shit. And then a tear comes out.
It's really shaped me up, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, going to jail for I mean, put it this way. Back in the days, yes, I used to be in gangs and all of that stuff. We used to all have guns, and it was a peer pressure thing, at the time, you know what I'm saying, in the whole nine. And
why does he keep saying that? You know what I'm saying, in the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? We had guns and shit and stuff and things. A whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Hit guns.
I wasn't a legal gun owner. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a legal gun owner. None of us was legal gun owners. So guns was in the wrong hands. And even my hands,
so that's what he means, Bob. That's what he means.
Was the wrong hands at the time. You know what I'm saying? In the whole nine. But now things are really, really getting out of control, where even kids are going into their parents' rooms. They're taking their parents' guns to school, and they're doing these massive school shootings. You know what I'm saying? In the whole nine. I mean, there's I mean,
what the fuck does that even mean, in the whole nine?
Well, that's an expression that comes from World War II, and it's a reference to utilizing the 9 meters of munition belt on a machine gun, the whole 9 yards.
But he says it for everything.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Stop. You know what I'm saying? When is all of this killing going to stop? The only way it's going to stop is if we put a ban on the people that are not legalized to have guns.
Yeah.
What do you mean, criminals?
I feel like the criminals that have guns are not going to be affected by more laws.
It's like, oh, damn it. They took the
because
guns
they're
from the
already
criminals.
breaking
they won't
the
find
law.
a way to get them. Yes.
It's very silly.
It's what he's saying is retarded, because look, he's saying they need to take the guns away from the criminals. Well, guess what? They already got laws that restrict guns from criminals. All right.
2 things, Fu. It is 6:43 p.m.
Yes.
And secondarily, I would say consider the source. That is essentially a sentient succulent plant over there.
That's pretty damn racist, Bob.
Succulents don't have an ethnicity.
Sorry, people, if you got off to a rough start on here, but we're going to be back. We might even come back today if we have some more time, and we'll continue with this. I have a lot of info. We have a lot of stuff we could talk about. Just saying. Just effing saying. Hopefully, I'm not too echoey. That really messes me up when the mic's all messed up. But we're going to get that ironed out. Sorry if there's a bunch of echo on my mic right now.
Flavor Flav, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, so there's Flavor Flav, people. You guys agree with Mr. Flavor Flav over here?
No.
Do you think he's a good source of gun information on gun violence and solutions on?
I don't think he's a good anything. I don't even think he's a good version of himself.
What does that mean?
I think that he would be an excellent candidate to be replaced by AI.
Wow, that's effed up. That's effed up. The Flavor Flav bot?
It would probably be less stupid unless they trained it on him, in which case it would be equally as stupid, but with less context.
Wow. But with that said, people, sorry this is a very short show and we had some technical difficulties.
I mean, it was still an hour long.
But yes, it was an hour long, hopefully not filled with echo and fucked up microphone sounds. But with that said, people, we want to thank you for coming in here. Hopefully some people sort of enjoyed this. And remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV if you're new to the channel. We will be back soon. This is episode 1 of a multi-part series, all right? We'll be going more into AI. We did talk a little bit about Flavor Flav, but keep in mind, this is a news show, right? And we also speculate a lot because we have this thing called free speech, right, Bob?
Allegedly for now.
For now, we do. But one thing you shouldn't do is allow that orange fuck to keep bringing in all these bullshit laws that are actually built to give you less options when it comes to the workplace, all right? And your rights to pretty much make a living. Because this AI stuff they're pushing here is no joke. This is what's going to bring us to that future that Klaus Schwab told you all about, right? You will own nothing and be happy. Yeah, that's what happens when they build these massive monopolies, because they now have AI and they don't even need to employ people anymore, right? And since they have so much money to begin with, they can strangle all the small businesses. But then these people want to come out and lie and say, this is going to hurt small business. I remember this is the same thing, Bob, that Sony said and the Foreign Trade Commission said when Microsoft was trying to buy Activision. These guys were coming out saying that, look, if Microsoft buys Activision, Small business is going to be hurt, right? And they said the consumer is going to be hurt also. They said, oh, what about the consumer? Okay, well, first of all, the small business was destroyed by the digital consoles that they put out, right? This is why you're seeing way less of these game stores around, because these companies there's no middleman anymore. It goes straight from the company that built it, and then they sent it to the consumer straight through the internet. Most of the stuff is downloading. That's why if you notice, they're not pulling the drives off of the consoles. And what that does, that kills the small business. So when the Foreign Trade Commission comes in and they start saying that we need to stop this acquisition of Microsoft buying Activision, I just laugh at it. And want to know what's really funny is that they were doing it on behalf of Sony, which is a multi-billion-dollar company. So Sony was just paying them off in order to stop that acquisition. This is the only reason why you see games like Call of Duty still on a PS5, because Sony they forced Microsoft to put that game on their system, right? Because if they didn't, then they wouldn't be able to buy Activision. This just shows you how corrupt it is, Bob. They don't give a fuck about small business. All they care about is the big business. That's the only reason there was a problem with them buying that company. It's because this very big company that's worth billions was standing in their way. But with that said, they don't give a fuck about small business. There you go.
Nope.
Bob, you got anything to say?
They don't. And they don't give a fuck about small business. They don't give a fuck about you. So while it might feel easy to go, oh, well, it's just ChatGPT. It's just using Meta AI. It's just using whatever the Google AI is. It's not. It's replacing your thoughts. It's replacing the product of your hands, the product of your mind, with the explicit goal of replacing you. Yes. So, it's also kind of funny that it is tremendously resource hogging in terms of electricity, in terms of water, space, all of it, to run these server farms, to power these AI clients.
I mean, the more you look into this, the more you find how hypocritical all of it is. They talk about, oh, we want less waste, right? Even though you're going to bring in all these batteries all over the place and robots and many, many, many other things that is just opposite to what they're saying their goals are, all right? But with that said, we do have to get out of here. Last time, people, remember to subscribe to The Real Food TV. We'll be back later. And, guys, you can find it in your heart to put $1 into our Venmo. Look, we want $1. We want $1. We want $1. Hey, 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 hey.
Fu even did a little song for you.
I did a little song for you. See that? Money, please. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
In the year 2017, an innocent man accused of a crime has a choice. Hard time or prime time.
Sensational. Perfect contestant. I want him.
He must pay or play the running man.
On your mark.
I'll be back.
Go!
The highest rated TV show in history.
Guess they want us to stay.
It's a game between life and death. Give you a lift? Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Running Man. He's playing for a prize. The prize is his life.
How about the life?
The Running Man.